the Harvesting Hope Summit, remembering that no matter how hard it gets, you should never lose hope. I have a very special guest here today, and I'm so excited because I'm in Utah. So we have an opportunity to do this interview live with one of my dearest friends, Karen Urbanek. Karen, thank you so much for being on this interview series today.
I am very excited. And harvesting hope. Who doesn't want to harvest hope? But I get her. She's my best friend. Okay, just putting it out there.
So I'm really excited to have Karen on here. And one of the reasons why I asked you to be on here is because not only is your personal story absolutely remarkable, but you did so many of these things yourself. You didn't have someone come in here and do these things for you. When I think about health and nutrition and wellness, this is my guru. This is who I go to, because everything she talks about, she has done in her own life. And your story about how you healed your own body is so relatable to so many people that are doing so many things. So I'm going to stop talking now. Karen, tell everybody else what you do, who you are, and please.
Well, I'm Karen Urbanek, and I am a holistic healthcare practitioner, and I'm an educator. Our family has owned 2 wellness centers, 2 organic grocery stores, 2 organic cafes. My nickname is Zuzu, so they were Zuzu's Organic Cafes. We did a lot, and we just really felt a driving passion to close everything a few years ago and just educate. So we do a lot of online education, but education is my favorite thing because I've been there, you know, and so just to watch people's lives change and their families' lives change, it's just, I love waking up and checking email. It's like the best day ever, every day. So cool.
And you weren't always, though, Miss Health and Nutrition. Like, tell me about, like, where was your struggle in life? Where was that point where you shifted and it was like, oh my gosh, I have to start learning more about this?
Well, I mean, I clearly remember, and this might sound morbid to some people, but like when I was a teenager, I had epilepsy. So I had epilepsy since I was young. I was on 3 medications. And when I was a teenager, I just had to get away quite a bit from like it all. And so I would go up to the cemetery, and there was the coolest, like, we live in Wisconsin where people actually have really cool tombstones, you know, and I would like sit on Mr. Schultz's tombstone all of the time. Like, he knows my whole life story. I have no idea who he is. But anyhow, and I remember sitting there going, there's got to be a better life. There's got to be something than medication. But I was young, right? I was still in high school. And then when I got married and got pregnant, I'm like, I don't want this baby affected by all these medications. And that's when I kind of took things in my own hand. And that was way before the World Wide Web. This is, I am 50, okay? 51, to be exact. Okay, yeah. And so it was just research and research. And my mother had gotten cancer, and more research and more research. And I was able to get completely off my medications. I haven't had a seizure in over 30 years. I never will, because I know too much. I know I'll never have a seizure again, you know, because I understand synapses and how the brain works. And I understand epilepsy. It was a GABA deficiency. And so I think that's when I started really going, wait, there's an answer, because the cell is everything, you know, and that cell, you can trigger the cell with a molecule like a medication or food. That's just molecules. And so figuring out what foods or what substances that are more of the earthly type, that's, you know, that's kind of where my specialty is. So I love it.
I absolutely, and I know so many people can relate with that story, because so many of us are struggling with those issues. And one thing that just made me think about this when you're talking is those struggles and issues so often become our identity. And that's all we talk about. And that's all we project out and look for in life. And, you know, this is maybe not one of the questions I was going to ask you in the interview, but I would love your perspective on that, because that whole victim mentality, and I almost feel like I'm going to get emails by saying this about the victim mentality, but how did you separate from like, poor me, I have seizures, I'm sick, all these things are wrong? Like, how did you separate from that and make that be empowering for you?
So the 3rd edition and the final edition of my book is done. It's going to publishers right now.
Tell them what the book is called.
It's called Live with Energy, Thrive Without Fear, Sickness, or Disease. And it's the one book you need. It's the gateway book. So you just need one health book, boom, you're set for life, literally. But and you can get whatever. I'll turn you on to other books as you'll get excited. But the stats that I just uncovered, literally, we have Americans that are literally averaging, every American averages 13 prescriptions a year, 19 at a time if you are 50 and older. There are literally an incredible multitude of Americans that are taking multiple medications at a time. And these
don't even think twice about it.
3-year-olds on antidepressants. So the victim mentality is real, and it's okay. Like, the first thing that you do that I suggested, and that's what I had to do, was to realize I had it. Like, oh my gosh, I have epilepsy and I have these 3 medications all the time, and oh, I don't have enough money, or oh, my son did it, oh, my husband did it, whatever it is that we're feeling a victim of. And we have to realize that we're feeling like a victim and then get out of the drama cycle. Let's just link my drama cycle video to this, because it's just a few minutes and it explains that drama. And that's one thing that I have helped a lot of people get out of, is the victim mode. And, you know, hello, I'm fibromyalgia. No, you're not. Like, that's
I am cancer. Yeah. I'm candida. Yeah. I am, my leg is broken.
And you're just not. Like, that's just, it's literally just a symptom of the cells in a dis-ease state. So that's, you can fix that. Like, that's the whole thing, is you can fix 97% of most disease. You can fix at home in your kitchen. So like, this is something where
this is hope. This is hope for you guys. Like, this is hope that you can get out of whatever you're in. And that's why I so appreciate you, because when I listen to you teach every single time, I'm just so inspired to like get over my own shit. Excuse my language. But like, just get over it and realize that there's opportunities. There's people out there that want to help you. So if you're listening to this interview today, I just want you to know that there are people out there like Karen, like myself, like so many other people on the summit that have opportunities for you to learn. We're not the solution. We're offering you tools and opportunities for you to start taking your health and your life and your well-being back into your hands. And that's really the goal. And so that kind of leads me, Karen, to wondering, like, for me, a lot of times when I teach with people and I work with people, I'm always like, start small, just little bite-sized steps, because people think about it as like New Year's resolutions. They have this big dream that they're going to lose all this weight. They go to gym like 1 week and then it's like, oh, I can't do this. I suck. Because it's like this big, there's this big, huge goal, and there's no process to get there. So what are some of the bite-sized things that you have done in your life to move forward in your life? It doesn't even have to be in your health from epilepsy, but just towards some of your goals. Like, what are some of the little bite-sized things you like to do? Besides eat bite-sized food.
I don't have a big mouth, and so I don't take small bites. So when I'm like, dairy does that. Hell of that. That's I got it out of my kitchen. Meat can do that. Ooh, got little parasites. No, thank you. No more bacon. So for me, it was just cutting older. I was literally cut turkey out, cold turkey. So I didn't do little bites. And I explain to my clients, okay, if you want to eat the elephant, it's 1 bite at a time, you know, or you can have a big steak. You know, like, just start taking some bigger bites where you can. So it really is. So for me, when I started making the health changes, they might have been bigger, but some of my minor changes you had to go smaller, you know. So it was more of but I am a huge person on where focus goes, energy flows. And so where my focus went, that's where all my energy would always go to. So if I said, oh, I can never get this done, or I'll never have enough money to pay my bills. And I share this story often, but I remember we have like 11 kids. Don't ask me, but anyhow. And so, and I think we were at like number 10, we had 10 kids in the home. And I remember that I was praying, and I got off my knees, and I'd prayed and asked God for enough money to pay my bills. Guess what? I had enough pay my bills. Well, you know what? I had enough money to pay my bills every single month. That was like always a miracle. Like, oh my gosh, how are you ever? Okay, God.
Like, I should have been praying for more.
And that's what I did. I'm like, I'm on to you. I'm like, God, I get you. Thank you for all the abundance in my life. And that was forever on my prayer. Thank you for the abundance in my life. Even today, I took one of the girls out shopping. She's having a baby in a little bit, grandchild number 10, right? And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, don't you even think you can't afford that, Karen? Because the minute you think you can't afford it, you're never going to afford it. And so I just get what I want to get. I do what I want to do. And guess what? Always money to get what Karen wants to get, do what she wants to do. She wants to open this business. I don't do any credit, no debt. And it's been really cool. But that took me years. So man, if you can go home and be like, if you're like struggling, like, oh my gosh, you're never going to have enough money. You just hope for some more money to show up magically in the mail. You just expect it. Like, all you got to do is go out there and expect it.
So maybe that works. That's your bite-sized tidbit, is that you have to start with this. Mm-hmm. Start here. Start catching yourself when you're having that negative thinking. Cancel. Thanks, Kit Brooks, for that. I've remembered that after you said that. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, my mom did that all the time. And so you have to start catching yourself that you can change that thought process. And like you said, you get what you give. So start there, and life will trickle effect.
Well, so I was a single mom with 5 children, right? This was kind of a devastating thing that happened, very big. And so I had these 5 kids, and a friend of mine, I went, no one knew what was going on, because back then you certainly didn't discuss that kind of thing, because it was all your fault for some reason.
And there was no social media to post about everything.
I love the Me Too movement. Keep it up, girls. But anyhow, because those some of those bad boys, but I have a great husband now, so don't get me wrong. Anyhow, drama over. But I remember standing and I told one of my friends, I'm like, Don, I've got the 5 kids and I have to get out. Like, this is what's going on in my home. He's like, oh gosh. And he said, here's a piece of property. What can you do with it? And I'm standing there looking at this, 3-story church building and the rectory and the school building. And I'm like, I can do something with this. And I opened up the Wedding Gardens. Go Google it, theweddinggardens.com. I don't own it anymore because we sold it, but our family was raised there. We removed asbestos, we removed lead paint. My 5 kids and I, and that's like, you can't put doubt in your mind, because where your focus goes, energy flows. So if you're like, oh, I doubt I'll ever get in. I mean, really, I was like 5 kids and 3 buildings. No one's ever going to marry that. Like, that person would be insane. Roger is crazy. But like, but I couldn't put that out there. I couldn't be, no one's going to marry me. I've got 5 kids and now 3 buildings, right? No, I found a sucker. Okay. It worked. I love the guy. He's my best friend. And so I think we just have to, whether it be your health or whether it be the money, whatever it is, you just can't put it out there. You just cannot even
just have to just get it out of your head.
And as soon as you stop putting it out there, it's going to be gone. Like, you don't think it anymore. We don't ever doubt. And I actually raised my children with that saying, never doubt. And one of my daughters had a really big thing happen in her life, and a lot of photographs and whatnot. And she credited it all to her mother, who taught her to never doubt. And I was like, yes, because you just can never doubt what you can do. And our kids are physicists. One works for NASA, one works for the government. Like, our kids are amazing because they don't doubt. There's never been a job that they've applied for that they haven't gotten. Not one of my kids, like, they just don't. And it's because they don't doubt. And that's the most important thing I could leave you with. But I know there's other questions.
Well, and that's,
whatever you want.
But that's such an important, no, this is the beauty of doing these things, because having conversations with people like you and so many other people on this summit, there's this stuff, they have all this stuff, and people need to hear this, because so many people are just feeling like, I suck, or there's no hope for me, or it's not that simple. And the reality is, everyone starts at the starting line. It's what you do in the journey to get to your finish line, whatever that is. But you have to decide every single morning when you wake up to make those choices. You're either choosing to go down the rabbit hole of no return, or you're choosing to take on those 3 buildings with 5 kids and go, how am I going to pay for this? And thanking the universe every day for that opportunity, because life is a gift. Life is an opportunity. So I want to know, Karen, then, what is something that you do as part of your routine every day that's essential to keep you happy?
Oh my gosh. Number 1, I moved away from the city. Yeah, I had to move away because I'm huge into electromagnetic frequencies. Like, I love talking about that. And you have got to get yourself at least grounded and away from some of the electrical devices. And because we're electrical beings, I drink water. So like, I'm the first thing I do when I wake up, I drink a quart of water. And which is interesting, because like, I also jump on the trampoline, and I'm 51, so I'm like, oh, so I do all my core exercises, I'll pee on my trampoline. And so that's like, don't have that as an excuse. You can't drink your water because you're going to urinate when you exercise. I should have done my hair better.
Oh, you look adorable.
Anyhow, and so literally drinking water. So I drink, 2 or 3 quarts of water, often by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's electricity, and you need your brain to electrically be firing, and water is going to conduct that electricity. So, and then I eat crazy. I'm amazing. I mean, I love my diet. I love my food. Like, I can't wait to eat. And so
I love coming here.
In the mornings, I have my green powder, which I make myself. So I've got all these like blue-green, sprouted barley grass juice powder, and organic, blue-green algae and spirulina and chlorella and beetroot and just all these weird things. But I make a mix out of it, and I can give you the recipe because I give it to everybody. And then I add maca and ashwagandha and lion's mane. I'm a huge lion's mane lover. I love medicinal mushrooms, and I am a monster lion's mane mushroom. And I don't take the capsules, honey. No capsules here. I get the powder, and I'm like teaspoons.
I want golden milk right now.
We can go make that. My kitchen's right there. And, you can come try this. But and so I'm really big into superfoods and knowing what you put in your body. And so I'm a raw foodist, and so that's what I teach, and I've got a recipe book, and that's what I do. But that is it. That if I don't have my own fuel, I certainly can't fuel anybody else. And how am I supposed to teach how to reverse your health and get rid of cancers and epilepsy and narcolepsy, and I don't care what you got, how to help your cells get better? Isn't that cool? Help yourselves, help yourselves. I mean, it really is. So you regenerate the cell tissue, and you regenerate that mother cell, and you create a healthier environment if I'm not doing it. And so I have great libido. Ask my husband. I have wonderful children. We're always happy. I don't ever get sick. We don't get sick. The minute we might feel a little tickle, we know exactly what to do. So it's gone within hours. I mean, it's just that. It's just what we do. And I want to share it with everybody, because
fueling yourself, starting out the morning, water.
And just something
what
good.
you put in it.
Yeah, just like, if you put carbohydrates in your diet right away in the morning, you're going to crave them all day. So screw the carbohydrates, screw the pancakes and waffles, unless they're made out of flax. But you just like do something alive in the morning. I always say produce until noon is a great way to start. Just eat some produce until noon.
That's a good little tidbit.
And you can't live out of the city. So what? This might sound really bizarre. Throw tinfoil all again. If you have a bed against the outside wall of a bedroom, or even in a bedroom with a lot of Wi-Fi, the biggest thing you can do is to block those frequencies from coming into your home. And so throw tinfoil on your walls, throw tinfoil in the back of your headboard, whatever you need to do, but literally you can measure it, and it's easy to do. We can talk about that another time. But
awesome. I love that. Okay, so a lot of people, I feel like today, because social media is huge. Everyone's always on social media, and it's a great way to connect with people, get information like this. But a lot of people look at those people's lives and go, oh, they're so perfect, or oh, they have it so easy, or oh, if I had more money like them, I'd be able to live that life. So my question is, we all start at the finish line. So when you when you see that, where does a time in your life when maybe things didn't go as great, or it was challenging for you, and it wasn't that picture perfect? So like, what did you do? Like, how did you get through that?
We actually had that happen. And I haven't actually talked about this publicly except one other time, and it was just with some group of friends, but I'm a practitioner, right? My kids have been raised, they eat well, they're healthy, but we had one of our children born with some issues that no one really knew what to do with. Even when she was 6 months old, we knew she had an issue with any kind of sugar, so she never had sugar, even fruit sugar. But when she was 14, some of these escalated. She actually had like water around the outside of the bladder, and you couldn't drain it. So she was very sensitive to EMFs as well. And there were just some really odd things and that are still going on. And the microbiome is amazing. I've written a book about the microbiome, but there are no tests yet to develop to test all 1,000 species. There's over 1,000 species of bacteria that are great, that are just in your colon. We can't test them all. I guarantee that she's dealing with something that has to do with one of those. But what happened was she actually became very sick. And I am one of those who's out there on social media, and I'm always doing classes. I've had the wellness centers, and I actually took myself out of everything. And so I myself had to do my own thing, and I took myself out. I was gone for probably 2 years on social media, almost 2 years, out of classes, out of teaching, out of work. I just simply didn't work because I had to pull my own life together and focus on not getting, and keeping my daughter alive and happy. And so for me, but I just pulled away from it and focused on me. And sometimes that's what you need to do. Like if you are trying to harvest hope, take all these great speakers that you've heard and be like, okay, Karen said drink water. Karen said to use tinfoil in the back of my wall. I don't care, whatever. I'm going to do some of these things, and then just peel away from social media for a while and just take that time to resort to fixing you. And I'm just now getting back into it. You know that. I now have gray hair, right? I let that go because I didn't care anymore. And I didn't care. I can have gray hair, and my gosh, watch my video on gray hair because you're going to love it. Okay. But you just might find that you metamorphose, that you actually have now developed into something even more beautiful. And oh my gosh, sitting right in front of me is my new snow, and you probably can't see it's so white, but it's my new snow quartz. And this thing is just incredible. It's just, you look at it and it's just, you want to lick it. Hope's always putting
I'm always putting it in my face, like, oh, like it's a seashell.
But look at the back of it. It just looks like a regular, an ordinary stone. It's just ugly, but no one had any idea what was inside of it until it was broken. And for Pete's sake, if you're broken, if you're feeling broken, that's okay, because who knows what's inside of you until you get broke, and then you come back. Who knows what was inside of me? I look back at my life and I'm like, what was I thinking moving 5 children to a property that had asbestos and lead paint, and I had $40 to my name, and I didn't have a refrigerator, and I had 1 twin bed? Are you kidding me? Like, what was I thinking? I always lived with hope, and hope is my favorite word. I mean, it always has been. You can look back on anything I've ever written, because you just have to believe in where your focus goes, your energy is going to flow.
I love that. I love that. So in your own words, how would you describe what it means to living your best life?
Best life ever. Hashtag. I think it would be waking up. My best life ever is when I wake up with great gratitude. So I'm just, number one, if you're alive and watching this, there are 500,000 people who didn't wake up today. Okay, get that. There's 500,000 people, and maybe one of them was your friend who died yesterday, but you didn't. For Pete's sake, let's have some gratitude for that. And then just making sure that I can go to bed with gratitude. So if I've made it through the whole day with gratitude, then I'm completely full. Like I don't have to have like the highest, I'll never have the high Instagram rating. It's me. I don't care less. Like I still don't even know how to I do a lot of stuff for her. I'm pathetic. Like, I won't, but no one's going to outbeat me with trying to give as much love away as possible in one day. No one's going to outbeat me in how much love their children can feel from their mom. Like, that's my goal. So I think just, if you can just wake up with gratitude and go to bed with gratitude, and in between just have a pleasant day and find some joy along the way, you've had the best day ever.
Be a good person. I mean, just be a good person.
You're always going to get what you give. So if you wake up in the morning and you're looking at social media and you're hating on people, well, you're going to have a sucky day. You know, but if you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, look what she did. Look. And so don't ever watch the news. It's like, I mean, maybe once a week to check up on some of the drama, but you just, where your focus goes, energy flows. That's the number one thing I can leave you with is you can't doubt, and you have to focus on something positive, and put sticky notes all over your house to remind you to focus on something positive.
I love that. Sticky notes all around your house.
Everywhere.
Reminding you of whatever it is. Stand up straight. Love, you know, make sure you show love to your kids. You know, love yourself. Whatever it is, be positive, gratitude.
In my bedroom, and you probably didn't see it because you're not in my bedroom often, even though it's huge. It's half the house. But anyhow, I have sticky notes that say, after Karen. After Karen. Because I can get a lot of things done before I take care of Karen. And I don't do that. So I'm like, no. Everything can wait, because my brain goes. I'm like, no, after Karen. So I get up, I do my stuff, I go with my kids, I get my kids out the door, I go down and I exercise, I go in my sauna, I take care of Karen, and everything else can happen after Karen. So just remember so sticky notes can be everywhere to remind you that just, you know, you have to take care of putting the oil in your lamp. So
I love you that. Any other advice or tips or words of wisdom that you want to share with the people on this summit on what it means to harvest hope, or to never lose hope, or to be trying to live your best life? It doesn't mean you have to be perfect today, you guys. It's just, is there anything else that you want to share with them or leave them to have on their hearts and in their minds today?
I would love to issue a challenge. This is one of my favorite things to do. Honestly believe that everybody that you see today was actually put there, right? That you were supposed to see them, and then start treating them like that. So literally, when you see someone, be like, hey, I hope you have a great day. Literally, the janitor that when you walk into Walmart and someone's sweeping, be like, you know, you always keep the floor so clean. Like, literally love on everyone that's in your face that whole day. Anyone that just do it for one day. Take the cart from someone who's, you know, from coming out of Walmart, wherever it might be. If you're grocery store shopping and you're doing something, just like whatever you do, just believe everybody that's around you is actually there for you, and treat them as if you love them, you know them and you like them. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have the best day ever. So many people just love to be loved. Everybody loves to get loved. And so when you are giving love, you're going to start receiving it from people. And my daughter, when we moved, it was a big move. And one of our daughters, Julia, she entered as a senior in the new school, right? So she enters as a senior. And one day she came home and I'm like, so how are things going, Julia? She's like, you know what? I walk down the halls and I pretend that everyone loves me so much that I just pretend they all love me. And then I just love all of them. And so I just expect it because I love them and they are going to all love me. I just walk down like they already all love me. And she had a great senior year, except for when she pulled the fire alarm, but that was okay. Oh, well, she didn't really pull the fire alarm, but she said it. She
it's
set
Julia.
Off the fire
Julia,
alarm.
it's Julia.
She's like, anyhow, flames and knives, you know, anyhow.
That's amazing. That's a challenge.
Just love everybody.
I want to know if you took that on. And please let us know, info@hopesofara.com. I want to know if you took this challenge on and what you learned from it, what you got back from it. And the cool thing is this challenge costs $0. It is not rocket science. It's not like you have to extend yourself any more than just smiling at a stranger and saying thank you maybe 1 or 2 times more than you already are. But that abundance, what did you say again? Where focus goes, energy flows. And I'm telling you, you can get chalk and write love notes on the chalkboards. You can do anything. And you know about my $100 bill story. And so I always have a blog post about it.
Yep. I have a $100 bill with me always, and it's not mine. And I know it's not mine. And so I always wait for an inspiration of when someone needs a $100 bill. I literally look at everybody in my life every day as if they were supposed to be there and I'm supposed to be part of their life. And that's why I smile or whatever I need to do.
And you never know who that person is.
You never know.
What role they may play in your life.
Yep, exactly. And I'll tell you that the $100 bill stories are amazing. And so many people are doing that now. You will know when someone needs the $5 or the $20 and it's not yours. And so you're just like the money isn't yours to give away. The kindness isn't. So as soon as you start being kind and you can start showing love, you're going to feel better about yourself because you're going to get it back. Whatever you
amazing.
Give comes back.
It's amazing how you feel like you have to hold on and hold on and hold on because you don't feel like you're lacking. But it's it's the more you give, it's twofold, because you feel more abundant, but then you also receive more. Like, it's a crazy concept that we have to get through our head. And Karen,
Go to the blog post.
Yes, go to the blog post. And you guys, Karen, you are such a remarkable person. I'm so honored to have you in my life. I'm so blessed that I get to spend time with you like this. And just thank you so much for being on this summit. For those of you that are watching this, we'll have information on how you can get in touch with Karen and learn more about her. But for those of you that are watching and listening to this, I want you to know that it's a reason why you're here today. It's a reason why you listen to this episode. And that no matter how hard it gets, I just want you to know you should never lose hope. Never lose hope that there is opportunity and help out there for you. Whether it's something simple as listening to this summit, or there's someone out there ready to extend their hand and help you in any way, shape, or form. Do not give up. Do not lose hope. And that we are just so honored and excited that you are a part of this. Thank you guys. And until I see you on the next episode, have an amazing day. Bye. Yay!